Hey guys, how's it going? Coaching for the Soul, Thursday at 3 has begun. If you're watching this live, what's up, what's up? If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and also leave a little comment, even if it's just hi Bill, because we need to grow the channel. And it'll use the algorithms of the YouTube to send it around the planet, which I would appreciate. If you're watching this on the Spirit Channel TV, what's up? Thanks for coming in. And I have, today is the full moon in Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn sun, and so it's affected me kind of crazy, especially yesterday. A lot of stuff to talk about. I just got done meditating. First time I've done it before the program, and my ears are ringing like crazy. So I don't know what we're going to channel, but I just know that we're going to channel. It's like, I don't know what we're going to do. So yeah, I don't know. They didn't give me any hint. So yeah, the ringing is so intense that it's completely fills my head. Completely fills my head. So yeah, so we'll see what's going on with that. The Saturn goes retrograde in Aries on the 13th. Bonus for all of us, simply because all the boundaries get let go of. They get pushed down until November. Okay, so you get a little bit more wiggle room wherever Saturn is in your birth chart. Okay, whichever it is, whichever house it is. There's 12 houses. If you don't have your birth chart, PamGregory.com. That's PamGregory.com. Okay, but find out what house it is that is going to be retrograde in, where it is now when you were born. That's the house it's going to feel, it's going to affect. So check it out and make sure and see. Yes. Okay. What else? Neptune is already retrograde, which is pretty interesting because it's the planet of wishes and dreams. All right. And so, yeah. And what else? Uranus is already in Gemini. Thank God it's in Gemini, because it's out of Taurus, which it doesn't like to be. Been there for the past 8 years. Being an Earth sign, being a Capricorn. If you're an Earth sign also, or an Earth sign rising, or an Earth sign moon, fabulous, fabulous, because when a planet doesn't like being in a zodiac sign, it's like a child. It hunkers down and it kind of gets angry, pushes away, especially Uranus, because it's the planet of WTF. Yeah, pretty much is. So yeah. So that, again, those are 3 planets that affect us every day. And God bless it, but Jupiter's still in freaking Cancer. Cancer is the planet of water. It's ahead of water. It is flowy and it's wonderful, and it wants everybody to get theirs. And Jupiter's the planet of everybody gets a part. Everybody gets Oprah, right? Everybody gets a brand new car. Everybody gets. So talk about your intentions, right? Out loud. What do you want? What do you want? We did in the memberships, and also on this program in January, I believe, end of January, beginning of February. Spirit told us to set our intentions, so we have set our intentions for July. So we've done that, right? Now today is the 10th of the month, so we got till the 30. We got 21 more days in the month. Okay, so be open to receiving your intentions. Okay, don't think about it. Don't think, oh my God, it's not here. What am I going to do? It's not going to come true. Blah 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 blah. That's ego. Tap that down. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so yeah, it is living in the flow. Living in the faith, believing everything is possible, because Jupiter's in Cancer and Saturn has stepped down for 4 months. 4 months? 4 months, yeah. see, before it comes back online in November. But then it has to make up the retrograde time. So next year in March, it will be where it was when it went retrograde. Okay? So it's an 8 month it's 8 months of process when a planet is retrograde. Okay? So when it goes 4 months retrograde, it's got to go 4 months forward to go to the place it went retrograde. So it kind of reviews everything. Yes. So again, Saturn, November. Neptune, I'm not sure. I don't follow Neptune that much because it doesn't move that much. I believe Neptune is it's over 100-year orbit. That's not 187. I think that's Pluto. No, Pluto's 245, I think, yeah. Maybe Neptune's 187 years before it comes back to Aries again. Okay? So it's a very, very long trip around the sun. Okay? So a lot of cool stuff. Get your birth chart. Make sure that you do. Look at it. See which house Jupiter's in. Which house Neptune's in. Which house Saturn is in. Okay? Uranus is in. Wherever it's at in your birth chart, that's what you want to pay attention to. Okay? Because pretty much every single house is a different part of your life. There's one or two that are very, very similar, like Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay? The definitions, and that would be my first house. Whatever house you're born in is your first house. Then it goes second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. So the 12th month for me is my 12th house because it's December. Does that make sense? But January and February in the house system are my first and second house are very similar. And I believe Cancer and Gemini and Cancer are very, very similar. Okay? So again, birth chart can make or break your time. Also, guys, we got a Mercury retrograde that happens in frickin' 5 days. Yeah. We're already in the pre-shadow. There's a lot going on. The full moon, like I said, is tonight. The Capricorn full moon, the buck moon. And the energy will last for 3 more days. All right? Mercury retrograde has been in shadow state, pre-shadow, for 10 days. Okay? Then it goes retrograde. Then after that, you got 5 to 7 more days where the energy wanes every day. Okay? Now, Mercury retrograde is communication. Don't buy anything that's big. Don't sign any papers unless the lawyer looks at them. Don't do anything that can cause you strife. Okay? Don't buy a house, don't buy a car, don't buy a new boat, don't buy new skis, don't buy anything that's big. Okay? And that's just because there can be communication problems with email, with fax, anything that has to do with communication, because it is the communication planet. All right? And again, find out where Mercury is in your birth chart when you were born. Where does it land? Because that is the house that it's going to be illuminated in. Okay? So that's what that deal is. Okay? That's what that deal is. So don't sign any contracts unless a lawyer looks at it. Because there'll be something in there that doesn't jive properly. That they didn't tell you, or that you didn't hear, or whatever. Again, it's the same way with emails, right? Emails, make sure that you read them twice. Because you will take a negative energy off the email if somebody sends you something. Or a voicemail, okay, on your phone. Because you're going to be in a state, how can I put this? To be an upper level of frustration during Mercury retrograde. and then there's Neptune retrograde, and then there's Saturn retrograde, all at the same time. Yeah, okay? So it's going to be kind of quirky, kind of weird, but the communication is frustration in us because we're going to say something out of place. We're going to say something out of line. We're going to say something that comes back to haunt us, okay? So be careful when you speak now until the end of the month, okay? Yeah, the end of the month. So I don't know if you've already done it, because I've done one or two things that have come out of my mouth to my sister, and I'm like, ooh, ooh. Pre-shadow's already started, and I believe it begins on the 15th of this month, okay? So, so check that out, okay? Yeah, check it out. Okay, so, we done with astrology stuff? Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's see where we're gonna go. Man, they are in my ear. Wow. Okay. So Spirit wants to talk about it's interesting. Spirit's going to talk about aliens, which is interesting, and then there's nobody here to do it. Oh, that's because we're keeping them away. Why? Oh, I see. Okay, so what Spirit is telling me is this, is that today they're not going to let them come down to speak because they won't come to speak to you usually. Your guides will tell you everything you need to know. That makes sense? Makes sense to me, right? Right? Okay. Depending upon the level of your ego control, you can take it out of context what they might say, because they don't have a filter. They do. Your guides know exactly where you're at in your ascension. Okay? And so for me, I'm in 5D most of the time anyway. And so them coming in during the program is fine, because again, my guides are protecting anything that comes out of their mouths usually through me, right? I don't know. I don't have to channel it all, right? I can channel bits and pieces of it if they tell me to, which they never have. But let me see. No, they never have. They just let it flow. But with you, it might not happen that way. So I get it. Okay, so. Okay. He keeps saying, the aliens are among you. The aliens are among you. The aliens are among you. Which we pretty much had an idea, kind of, yes, they're already here. Okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, this is something new. Maybe it's not. Okay, something about AI being able to, AI done in a genetics test will be able to pull out alien DNA in your DNA, sample, your DNA chart, whatever it's called, right? Interesting. And also, we've talked about this before, they're adding back another chromosome that they took out for 3D. Yes. Adding it back. Oh, that's alien chromosome. Ooh, sheesh, yes. I don't remember what the chromosome is called. it is so interesting how with things that are being revealed, usually from spirit, but also it can be the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the Sirians. They usually will not tell us things that are special. Things that are not able to be revealed yet. Yes, Joe. And so, okay, interesting. Oh, makes sense. Okay. As the chromosomes are entered back to us, they will be able to recognize us by running our DNA. Does that make sense? They're able, meaning the ETs, are able to recognize us as half-bloods, right? Muggles too sometimes. But half-bloods can recognize us in the grocery store or on the street or in a movie theater, right? Whatever. They can recognize us because of our light, right? Again, your soul is automatically going to look for light. Automatically. Yeah. And so, because many people believe that they need to be redeemed, that they've done bad things in their life. They're connecting religion with us. They're connecting religion with us, which is Jesus is part of us because he was a prophet. So he comes from this. He comes from God. He comes from the universe. He comes from the divine. So, as do we, Spirit says. Exactly. These have never been human. They're brought to us by the divine. Yes. Interesting. So, I'm going to tell you, this is what Spirit is showing me. Because this happens in some readings with ETs. That you could be driving down the street and pass someone in a car, on the street, whatever, that will look human and they will flash you what they really look like. Like that. Okay? And you'll go, oh my God, I think I just saw, that's your imagination. You didn't see anything like that. Yeah, you did. It's kind of like children who see grandma and grandpa and all those beautiful souls that are passed. Okay? When Spirit says this, when you see that, he calls it energy. When you see that energy and it registers, you'll know exactly what you saw in your heart. Ego will try to spin it. Okay? Again, it depends upon what level of control you have on your ego, and if it's allowed to run free, or which is a negative energy, or if you control it by at the beginning of the control. Spirit's laughing. Bill, if anybody needs us to explain this again, I can't believe we've been explaining it for like 8 years. Controlling your ego. Okay, ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Okay, when you're calling ego out because it wants to tell you that you're a worthless piece of you-know-what. When it's your fault that this happened. It's your fault that you're alone. It's your fault you're in a bad marriage. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. It's your mom's fault. It's your blah, 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 right? And we can spiral out of control until we take control of absolutely either maneuvering around it, Spirit says, or semi-squashing it. I semi-squash it, right? But there are days when it will be in my heart, and I'll wake up, and I'll be in fear, and it'll be just like this whole thing. And when I do my guided meditation, completely takes away the fear. And Spirit tells me it's the fear of past. It's the fear of the past, not the fear of the future. It's the fear of the past. Okay, because it creeps up on us as we allow ourselves to disengage with it. Thank you, Spirit. It's pulled away. Pulled away is pulled away. We can pull it out and throw it away, right? We truly can. But what happens is, because that is in our DNA, it's in our bones, it's in us. All of that trauma from past lives is still semi there, although they have a great way to just pull it out of us during our sleep, right? That's when they work on us. So understanding that when it comes up, it's normally in the morning, not during the daytime, it's in the morning, because you're waking up fresh to new energy, okay? Yesterday I woke up, again, there was a full moon last night. I mean, it's up almost 100%. And yesterday was like, I was just ready to freaking bite a head off a bat. It just came out of nowhere, right? And it was simply because of that, okay? Because I'm a Capricorn, okay? A true Capricorn, born the first week of the month. So understanding that as they flash you, let's say, okay, document that. Believe it, okay? Because what's going to happen is, if you say something out loud, they will go, okay, he got it. Okay, she got it. So she believes that. Of course I do. I had him in my house in 2018, 3 different times. The Greys were here 3 different times, right? The first time, again, for 2 weeks, and I accidentally took a picture of them standing in front of the door to the balcony, in front of a tree. You know, when I was taking a picture of 111 on my stove. How random, right? But talk about discovery. Talk about discovery, right? That everything happens in the right place at the right time. So if you look, I know. Got it. That's why it's so very, very important that you document when you've seen them. Absolutely document. Put it on your phone, whatever. Don't tell anybody, right? Because there are certain things you can tell people, certain things you can't. The muggles and the half-bloods are not going to understand you at all. At all. Especially if you're in a higher dimensional energy, right? So it is super, super important that you remember that. That okay, I can't tell anybody. Tell me. Send me a text. Bill, no freaking way. Blah, 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 blah. Tell me. I'd love it. I'd love it. If you're in the memberships, right? My 5 levels of spiritual guidance, right? That I do every single day. billhobart.com. Put it on the private Facebook page. Share it in the monthly Zoom that we have. Heck yes. I mean, in the monthly Zoom, I'll tell you, I found out so much stuff that I didn't even know about the person. Oh yeah, I've been astro traveling. Huh? You're doing what? Oh yeah, I've been doing it for like a month and a half. Wow, that's crazy. The astro travel. I can't do that. That's not my forte, right? Right? But people are astro traveling, which I think is freaking amazing. Talk about that stuff, right? Again, call me on the phone, send me a text, whatever, send me a video. It doesn't matter, right? And if you're in the memberships, freaking put it on the private Facebook page, or talk about it in the monthly Zoom that we do for all of us. That will make a huge impact, right? It's important that we use it to our advantage. Yeah. And that advantage is knowledge. Because the more that we incorporate that, the more they know about us, right? I've got people that I've spoken to in Arizona and in New Mexico who are connected to them. And I find it fascinating. Because it's kind of like we're on the same trajectory of what they're saying and what those humans are saying to me. Yeah. So it's on the way. It's on the way, it's on the way, it's on the way. Okay? So when that happens, super important. You'll see more and more, Spirit says. You'll be surprised at how many you see. Again, walking down the street, driving the car, at work. If you work in customer service, really at work. Okay? Okay. It'll be very, very similar to, I'll say this today. I got my carpets cleaned, right? And the young man who came never has been here before, right? And he walked up my stairs, and I'm like, do I know you? He's 25 years old. He's like, no, I've never met you. I've never been here before. I'm like, are you Scottish? He says, yes. I'm like, oh, that's how I know you. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm 27% Scottish, right? So it was interesting because he felt like I've known him forever. He's 25 years old, right? But we had this connection to each other, which is very interesting. It was very cool. Very, very, very cool, right? And at the end, I told him who I am, right? He was like, you're kidding? I'm like, no. I said, man, that's how I know you. Because there's somewhere in the past where your soul and my soul have been intertwined in families, in friends, in whatever, in Scotland. Possibly here, but more than likely in Scotland, okay? Again, that happens. You will have the same connection with the ETs. You have the same connection with the ETs, all right? So, again, document it, right? Put it in a notebook, put it in your diary, put it on your phone, whatever, okay? Because it's super, super impactful when you start seeing more and more of them, because we all know that's what this does, right? The more ascended you are, and the more that you, I don't think the word accept is what it is, believe and live in that belief that what you saw was real, the more the energy brings them to you. The more the energy brings them to you. And that's what it's all about, okay? Because they're coming. I know. The people that I talk to in Arizona and New Mexico will be proponents for them. They will be spokespersons for them. In the it's not propaganda war. In the propaganda war, Spirit says, in the propaganda war, okay? So, because that's free and open and crazy, so, yeah. Okay, so, what's next? Hang on, guys. Okay. Okay. So we've seen the flooding in New Mexico and the flooding in Texas and the flooding in North Carolina again. This all has to do with Uranus. Okay, all has to do with Uranus being in Gemini and world events kind of working at the same time. Again, right place, right time, right? Everything is planned. Your life is planned. You have this much free will. Okay? Soul journey. I use that. Soul journey. So, as more and more things like that, as volcanoes erupt more, as there's, and with volcanoes, usually if it's on the coast or whatever, it will bring a tsunami. Okay? I mean, all earthquakes, same thing. Okay? Try not to. Let me put this, how can I put this, Spirit? I don't know how I would put it. Okay. When you see these events, you need to not go into fear, believing that you're going to be part of that, because you're not. I've talked about this before. You're surrounded by white light. Your family's surrounded by white light. Okay? No one in your family is going to be part of that. Whoops. Okay? In the future. Don't take that fear on, because what that fear is past life. You being in something like that. Like in Thailand at Christmas time, what was it, 2002, 2003, when the tsunami came after the earthquake and killed thousands of people because they were unaware that there was a tsunami at Christmas time. Okay? So when you take that on, I want you to recognize that, and go, okay, if I'm in fear, it's got to be a past life thing, because it usually is. Okay? Unless you continually watch things online that are about volcano eruptions and earthquakes and tsunamis and planes falling out of the sky and floods and blah, 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 blah. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Because when it's interesting, when we're online and we are just online and we're open, right? We're just looking at stuff, we think. But it's also that energy is our visual energy is connecting to here. And it can throw you off. It can throw you off. I know that I can't watch certain things on my iPad at all. They'll come up on my reels and I'll be like, no. Because they want me to engage in either political stuff or police stuff. No time for that. Because it infects us. Okay? And then what do we do to get rid of it? You got to meditate. You got to change your thinking. I can't do that anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Very important. Okay. Now, I don't know what Spirit is doing, but now all of a sudden we're going to go back to aliens. You guys are all over the place today. Oh, it's me. He says, keep putting up barriers. Barriers. Why? Oh. Because I want to talk about political things, and they don't want me to talk about political things. I kind of did a little bit of that earlier. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, back to the aliens. It's political. Okay. I don't know what that is. Because he's showing me something to do with the planet going through transformation. Because the energy planet right now sucks. It sucks. Energy on the planet, transformation. Okay. So there's going to be some type of transformation in devastated areas linked to the ETs, but no one will ever tell you until later that there will be some miracles that happen in devastated areas in our country this year that will be miraculously rebuilt, miraculously saved, transformed. Again, certain people will see the energy, certain people will see the ETs will just flash, and they won't know what they've seen. Okay? So, oh man, I'm up like, they just took me like way up here. My eyes are all foggy, they're all like floaty. Okay. Oh, sheesh. Oh man, even my heart's up there. There's going to be miracles in the country where people are saved. There's going to be miracles in the country. The last of what has happened in third dimension. They're not yet ready Their culture is not yet ready to digest it. And they'll be the southern states because they're slower than the northern states. Ours will happen more in winter. Ours will happen more in up here in the north. Ours will happen more in winter. Late fall, winter. Lots and lots and lots of snow. Yeah, where people meet. Oh, what the hell's the yawn about? Anxiety. Okay. A little political. It is to show the country where the country is going. Where the country is going. Because there is no help anymore. There is no help anymore in the devastation. And that's where the ETs come in, is either saving buildings, saving humans because they're connected to spirit, saving more of the collective, spirit says, and miraculously that building survived and everything else, kind of like the fires in California, where there was one house that was saved and nobody can understand why. Because it's surrounded by divine white light for some reason. Probably because the people that live in that house are connected to their guides, are connected to spirit. Does that make sense? Same thing will happen with the snow. Same thing will happen with the floods. Same thing will happen with catastrophes. Okay, with catastrophes in the country, including Kilauea in Hawaii. It will continue to grow till 2030. Okay? It gobbles up houses. Yeah. Interesting. All of us need to reach higher into our spiritual self to connect more with our guides. Everyone needs to do... Oh, okay. The energy on the planet, the energy in the country is going to get worse. It's going to get more, it's going to get heavier. Again, Spirit has said this before. We're going to see things we haven't seen before. And so we have to reach higher to keep our vibration higher so that what is supposed to come to us, what's supposed to come to us will be able to make it. If you're not able to keep your vibration higher, they will lift you up. Your guides will lift you because you have to receive. That's freaking cool. But then you have to go back and do the work. Oh my God. There's an abundance of knowledge in 5D that all of you are programmed to. Some of you are programmed higher than 5D. As you go through this process of being pushed, right? Again, daily practices, guys, are everything. You gotta do freaking guided meditations to get rid of 3D, okay? You have to, at least twice, 3 times a week. I do it when I'm feeling it's in my heart. I did it today at like 2 o'clock because this morning was busy. Days is around here somewhere. We tend to take our walks, blah, 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 right? So understanding that guided meditations cleanse you. They allow your body to release because your body's not programmed to release yet. The more that you reach, Spirit says, the more that you connect with higher dimensional energy intentionally, your body will become addicted to that. Your ego will quiet. It will be a much easier transformation if you take it upon yourselves to reach. Okay, now. Okay, because Jupiter is in Cancer, this is the one time when we will tell you to pursue. will instruct you to pursue, to do something, to reach, to do your daily practices. Speak out loud. Allow flow, right? Allow flow, right? Allow flow. You have to flow. Yes, and it's all tied into the ETs and what's going on in the country. Okay, they understand that you're making a great sacrifice for your future, but we're all programmed this way. We're all ready to take that step. We're all ready to go. Only thing that's stopping you is your ego telling you, I'm too tired, it's too late, it's too early, blah, 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 blah. Don't let that happen. Do not let that happen. Because what will happen is if they lift you for your abundant, let's say your intention, they're going to take you back down. So if you wanted $10,000, let's say they only bring you $3,000. Or you wanted $1 million, they bring you $4,000 or $10,000, right? Because you're not in the vibration to accept it. You want a man, you want a woman, guess what? No. The man that you want is in 5D. The woman that you want is in 5D. And it's not, they're not going to reach down and pull you up. They're not. That's not how it happens. That's not how it works. Okay? And understanding that yes. The thing that you have programmed yourself that you want out of your partner in 3D will not find you in 5D. Because you made those choices, you made those decisions, you put those things in place in 3rd dimension. When you're in 5th dimension, those no longer carry. They're no longer acceptable because you will be more of yourself than you are now. You will need less. Awesome. I've never said that before, ever. Makes sense to me, right? Because all of your third dimensional experiences will have been completed as you rise past 4th into 5th, possibly 6th. All right? So the things that and I'll tell you something in a minute because I got to finish this thought with them, that we have to finish what we wanted in 3D. We can't take it to 5. We can't take it to 5D and expect it to happen there. I will tell you that when I got the message about Hawaii, moving to Maui, 2018, okay? I now understand I was in 3rd dimension. And not connecting deeply with spirit, okay? I don't really know who I was. I was pretty good at what I was doing, but I didn't know who I was in this sense I'm at now. I now understand that they gave me that as a 3D buster. What's a 3D buster? They just came up with that. It's kind of freaking cool because it makes sense. All the shit that we wanted in 3D cannot come to us in 5D. It can't because it's too heavy. So well, where's it at? How come it didn't happen? Where's it at? How come it didn't happen? Where's it at? How come it didn't happen? Is our ego in 3D wanting us to not believe, wanting us to not flow, because it doesn't know what the flow is. That's how engaged we are with our ego. It knows how we died through every single lifetime. It's been there. As always, when we ascend, when we're in 5D, guess what? I don't have any ego. I don't have nothing. It's beautiful. The ringing stops. Everything is floaty and awesome and just sweet as hell. Because I'm out of 5D or I'm out of 3D. I'm in 5D. And that experience is fantastic. You don't worry about anything. You don't think about anything negative at all. It's all positive thoughts. It's all being open. It's all being floaty and wonderful. And that's why our 3D thoughts cannot be brought into 5D. Spirit told me many years ago, probably 2016, 2017, okay? Bill, you have to do all your work in Detroit. You cannot do any of this in Maui. You got to do it all here. Now I understand why. 3D. We can't take 3D and bring it into 5. Ah, thank you, Spirit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that because 3D is too heavy. It's too heavy. 5D, I get it now. That's why all of my complaining and bitching about how come I'm still here is them saying, oh my God, he still doesn't get it. Oh my God, he still doesn't get it. Till now, till today, hello, bing. That is so freaking cool. Hey, Rachel. So freaking cool, right? That now I understand. Because Spirit has been telling me, Bill, the things that you've wanted in 3D can't go with you to Maui. Well, shouldn't they be complete by then? He goes, you would think. But you, being who you are, I know. I'm a Capricorn. Aquarius rising, right? Two of the same things in the same pod. Makes sense. What I've had in love and attention and things in my life in 3D will be different in 5D. Ha! Thank you. Just got that. That's why, Bill, the relationships here didn't work. They're getting you ready for 5D. They're getting you ready to move forward. They're all of us, guys. All the things that we go through now propel us into 5D because there's amazing stuff here. There's amazing stuff here that we have no idea what it is. And if you are thinking in 3D that when you want that house, I want that house, I'm going to get that house. I want that man or that woman, I want them to treat me like this, and this, or I'm not doing anything with them. I'm not going to do anything. I've done it all my life. I want them to treat me like this. Guess what? In 3D, they won't. In 5D, they will. But you have to get rid, and I've done a lot of this work. You have to understand, which I did it without truly understanding until today, that it's already right there for me, for all of us. But I bitched for freaking 6, 7, 8 years. Where is it at? Come on, what's going on? Again, with Lee, with others, right? No. Again, with Bailey. Bailey had to pass. Lee had to leave. The other guy had to get out of the way. He had to move away, right? Because I have a clear path to 5th dimension in Hawaii. Boom. Discovery, guys. Right there is freaking discovery. That's how this shit works. Sorry, it came out. Yeah. With you, with me, with everybody. That's why we do our work. That's why we are who we are. That's why we have to understand that the things that we believe in 3rd dimension are freaking prison. It's keeping you stuck. And they're not going to move you out of the stuck. They're not. They'll just make you more disappointed, more disappointed, more disappointed. Been there, done that. And isn't it interesting how they tell us now to they're telling me 6, 7, 8 years ago. Right place, right time, Spirit says. Right place, right time. And my insides are giddy right now. The energy in my body is like ecstatic. It makes so much sense. Whereas we shed our 3rd dimensional bodies, as we shed our 3rd dimensional energy and our instincts and our wants and our demands, and we go, well, that didn't work, that didn't work. And I'll just give you an example of spending 2 years talking with someone and going back and forth with someone and it never materializing, and now I understand why. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Makes total sense. Jobs, same exact thing, right? My sister just got her first job in 5 years, 6 years yesterday. because my brother-in-law was so sick, right, with leukemia. And so she could not have a job because they just lived off what they had because he was constantly in and out of the hospital. She couldn't have a job because it was just impossible to do. See? Again, my lovely sister, who's a Capricorn rising, all right? Earth sign. Uranus just left Taurus to go into Gemini last week, and she got the job yesterday. Prime example. That affects every one of us. Know your birth chart. Know your stuff. Know as much astrology as you can handle. Because I'm telling you what, with what I just talked about, going to 5D and understanding why it's happening. I tried to explain it to her and she didn't get it. She's coming here next week, so for a day. So I'll talk to her then about it. Like, okay, do you understand? She'll be much more open to it than she is on the phone. Because she's with Bill, right? So understanding that that everything is a package, everybody. It's a freaking package. Spirit just showed me a pie chart, okay? And it's split into 4 sections, 4 pieces of the pie. Astrology, spirituality, your 5th dimensional life, and your 3rd dimensional life. As your 3rd dimensional life starts to shrink, and your 5th dimensional life starts to expand. And that's because you're doing daily practices. You're conscious of who you are. You're conscious of what you're watching. You're conscious of what you're listening to. You're conscious, right? You're doing your meditations 2 or 3 times a week, right? And you truly are doing them and allowing all of that energy to be dissipated. It raises you into 5D. Only way to do it, guys. It ain't gonna happen any other way. Ain't gonna happen any other way. I talked to a person last week who's having problems with that, and she's been in this business for 20 years, 17 years, 20 years. And she Bill, I just can't get there because she's thinking too much. And I hear you say, Bill, on your program all the time that you need to flow. Well, how do I get into the flow? Well, guess what? Surrender. Give it up. Just stop. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is allow. You just have to allow yourself to flow. That's why I always say, Spirit always says, go to the water, sip out of the water, and rejuvenate yourself. Put your freaking butt on the ground and your feet on the ground, barefoot, and just sit there and listen to the waves clear out your energy of your body. We can't all do that every day. We don't live on a lake. Don't live on an ocean, right? Some do, some don't. I will live on the ocean very soon. Daily practice, right? Understanding that you blowing that off is ego's win. It's ego's win. Spirit has always said this, and I'm telling you what, it is truth. As you're meditating, you know you could be washing the floor right there, right? You know you could be putting away that laundry right there, right? You know you could be making that bed in there, right? You could be cleaning the bathroom. How about the kitchen? Kitchen probably needs to be picked up. The kids' toys are blah, blah, blah. And guess what will happen? You'll stop meditating or not meditating at all and doing all these tasks. And ego loves it because I'm keeping her or him alive. That's not true. That's a lie. It's keeping you from ascending. Keeping you from ascending. That's why it is so very, 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 very important that you do your daily, weekly practices. Okay? Because I never thought I'd be this person in a million years. The basic 3D Capricorn, workaholic, controlling, angry, upset, get away from me, not see my friends, not see my people, right? And leave me alone. People are weird. You know, I don't want to see any people, whatever, blah, blah, blah. To this person, which I am 95% of the time. Okay? So take that all in, guys. Things are happening so fast, and as these planets are retrograde, and as the circus outside gets worse, it's going to get much, much worse, much, much worse. And hopefully, we're all connected to spirit, connected to our guides, connected to that part of ourselves more often than not. Okay, and we're not having conversations with people about the circus and the division, all that other stuff, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for us because we're all up here. We are. You've touched 5D. I'll guarantee you have. You may have realized that, like, man, I don't understand. There's something wrong. No, there's not. I've had people actually text me and say, Bill, I'm kind of floated today. How do I ground myself? Don't ground yourself. Don't freaking ground yourself. Don't. Enjoy the float. Enjoy the float. They'll bring you down soon enough when something hits you at work, when something hits you at home. You know, not hit you, but you know what I mean. Pulls you out of it. Yeah. Very important. Enjoy the flow. Okay? So, man, I think we're done. Okay. So 30-minute readings are on sale, $85. Hours are $115. That's the price for this month. It might be go on next month. I'm not really sure. Memberships. Okay, guys? If you want to be part of a team, of a tribe, right? Memberships are amazing. There's 5 different levels, okay? From 15 minutes a freaking month to an hour and a half a month, okay? Unlimited questions. Text me anytime you want to. You'll probably have to call you because I can't give you everything in a text because I hate texting, okay? Unlimited questions. The Zoom ones on the third Wednesday. It is now third Wednesday of every month for an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Last time I think it was almost 2 hours. Everybody gets to talk. Everybody gets to tell the group exactly what's happened in the last month or so. If they haven't talked to them between each other, because that happens a lot, where now they're friends and they chat back and forth, and then they put it on the private Facebook page, and it is fantastic. If you want to be part of that tribe, billhobart.com. I'm telling you, they're not that expensive. I mean, in the hour and a half, I think they're like $70. They come out to be like $70 or whatever. Not even that. For an hour, I think they're like $44 total. Because you get you get 12 months, right? And the 15 minutes is just to check in, see what's going on, things like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're looking for someplace to tribe, looking for people that are gonna be your friends and have conversations and give you love and affection and friendship, billhobart.com. Coaching for the Soul memberships. Coaching for the Soul memberships. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on YouTube. If you guys please, in about 20 minutes or so, or sometime this weekend, please pop over there. Bill Hobart on YouTube. Like the video. Oh, subscribe first if you haven't already. Hopefully you have. Like the video, like the videos, okay? I've been watching them again because I can't believe what comes out of my mouth. I'll watch this one probably tomorrow because my channeling is so much more advanced than it ever has been. Go over, like it, leave a comment, hey Bill, an emoji, whatever. The channel's growing pretty good. And I think we got 7 new subscriptions last week. So that's pretty good. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so I can monetize it. So they got to pay me money. And you're going to start seeing, as of next week, you're going to start seeing snippets of past Coaching for the Souls. Okay? I'm going to start making reels. My friend Terry is going to show me how to do that, and we're going to do that next Wednesday. So be ready for, like, from next week on to see them in your reels. Again, like them, share them. Yeah, you know, help us out. All right. So, thanks guys. I appreciate it. I think that's it. Namaste to everybody. Have a good week. Do your meditations. Breathe, Spirit says. Flow, right? Eat good food. Drink lots of water. Okay? And I'll see you next Thursday for Coach for the Soul, Thursdays at 3. See you guys.